And here we have another. Okay, I'm going to let some more people in the room, so please bear with us as we let more people join us. Okay, and that is Mark Tepe just joined us. He's also one of our collaborators. So hello, Mark. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to our Powerhouse Smart Hard Hat Tour. It is February. Oh, February. No, it's July 14th, which is absolutely perfect time of the year, right? One of our favorite months because the weather is beautiful, hopefully everywhere. And we are very excited today to have a virtual hard hat tour with one of our custom builders from the Midwest. And this would be Adrienne Russ, who is a member of Powerhouse Smart after she became involved with our Powerhouse Smart Luxury Conference this last year. So we're so thrilled because we really are excited about learning more about what's happening in the Ohio area and about her custom firm and all of the collaborators that she had used, that she's included to be promoted today, that helped her work on the project we're going to actually have a tour of. So welcome to Powerhouse Smart. I'm going to just spend the first couple of minutes. So the agenda today is just a first couple of minutes of, who we are, so that you're not kind of like, wow, this is kind of interesting. What is this all about? And then you're all going to get a chance to introduce yourselves and your company very briefly. And then we're going to have, I'm going to introduce Adrienne, and she's going to talk about Frazier Homes, the scope of the project, lessons learned, and her collaborators are going to get a chance to introduce themselves. And then she's going to give us a virtual tour. And if we were doing a hard hat tour live and in person, which we've done many, many times throughout the years at Powerhouse Smart, is we would actually walk through and touch and feel the project. So because I come from the builder world, having my hat where I actually also used to design and build projects, I really feel it's important, if we're going to be a networking organization that really learns a lot about each other, that we really do see our work. Obviously, our websites and our email blasts and everything that we put out there on House and on social media is a wonderful way to see what we all do. But when you can be in someone's showroom or see someone's actual house that they've built, either a custom home or a spec home or a show home, then amount of the enhancement of what you really experience as far as building that relationship. So I'm just going to send an invite to someone who just requested, who did not get the link. And if you just excuse me for 1 second, I'm going to invite Susan Bertram in. And there we go. Okay. So now I'm just going to take a moment and share with you. So in case you'd like to learn more about what Powerhouse Smart is all about, I'm just going to give you the quick summary, and I'll share with you our website. So I'm going to go back here, and this is the Powerhouse Smart website that is actually current today. We will be launching a new website very shortly, which we're really excited about. But right now, without taking up too much of your time, this is the navigation bar. I'm on the calendar of events, and I'm actually going to go to today's event, which is right here, which you may or may not have seen. This is where our members have RSVP'd and our non-members, and then that's Adrienne and the collaborators that are part of this project. Most of them will be joining us. Some may not be able to join us, but we'll still learn about them. And then this is the project that Adrienne and her team have decided they're going to share with us, which is really, really cool. Looking forward to it. So this is today. We do, like I said, about 30 events a year. So if you wanted to see what else is happening and what else can you go to, I'm going to invite all of you free of charge, because typically events are free to members and $75 to non-members, in next week on Friday, a 1-hour virtual coffee meet and greet. It's actually going to be hybrid. So what that means is this event will be live in Chicago at Erins Renovators, which is one of our members. So those who show up live are going to actually be able to see the showroom and meet Gina and Igor from Erins. And then they're also going to see Rebecca, who's one of our Powerhouse Advisory Board members, also an interior designer, and also the Midwest director. She's going to be running this particular coffee meet and greet live, and I'm going to be on, that's me, I'm going to be on via Zoom. So if you're in Ohio or you're in New York or you're in Naples, you could attend this event. I'm allowing all of you to, so email me if you want to attend, because I have to give you a code so that you can get through to RSVP. And then you'll be able to see what a coffee meet and greet is. And it's your way to dip your toe in the water. So coffee meet and greets are similar to today. I'm going to stop sharing now. Similar to today, they are smaller. They're not meant to be hundreds of people. Some of our events are hundreds of people. This event is meant to create those relationships. So we try to limit it to no more than 20. And we'll probably do the same, because if we're going to have people on Zoom and people live, we want to make sure we can get to everybody. So this is our first hybrid. We've been doing coffee meet and greets all year and a half long now, virtual. And prior to that, always face to face. So we're kind of changing as the world is changing and getting better, right? So now we're going to do our traditional, what we do at Powerhouse SMART, which is everyone gets a chance to introduce themselves. So it's 4:07. So I'm going to say that everybody gets about 30 seconds to say their name and their company and what they do. So I'll start so I can give you like a demo. I'm Wendy Cohen. I'm the founder of Powerhouse SMART. I'm so happy you're all here. And Adrienne, thank you again for helping us put this together. I'm also the founder of Powerhouse Recruiting. So I do recruiting in our niche industry. And so I'm thrilled to have you here. Daryl Katz, could you please introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello, I'm Daryl Katz. I'm an advisor and consultant to Wendy and her advisory board. But more importantly, I'm a charter member of Powerhouse Smart. And I think I saw on LinkedIn today, Wendy, that this is your 15th anniversary.
That's
So I've been
right.
on board
Thank you.
15 years, and it's been a great organization. And glad to be here today.
Right. And so Daryl, I know you're always humble about what you do, but you're an incredible consultant and trainer. So maybe share with everybody what you do in your day job.
No, well, my day job is I'm an executive coach and executive trainer, and I work with organizations, colleges, and universities on leadership development and projects such as that. So that's kind of the work I get to do with Powerhouse Smart as well.
Okay, terrific, terrific. So thanks, Daryl. So Adrienne, you're going to have a whole spotlight, but I wanted you to just take a minute and, just introduce yourself and just share with us a little bit about you and to get us started here.
Okay, I'm Adrienne Russ. I am the operations guru for Frazier Homes, and we are in the Cinnicatti, Ohio tri-state area. We will creep over to Kentucky sometimes. We haven't been to Indiana yet, but if you need a beautiful home, we're happy to come check you out. And so I'm super excited about today's event and my partners who have agreed to participate. So we're going to have a really, really good time today.
All right. So interesting. So you said you do expand beyond the Ohio area. How often do you get a chance to do that, Adrienne?
We don't do it very often, but you will notice that particularly this project that we worked on, it looks right over the Ohio River. So you can throw stones at your Kentucky neighbors. And so coming up soon, City Rama is coming and it's going to be in Kentucky. We're not participating. We've been asked to participate, but unfortunately, we've got a lot of work going, so we haven't participated this time around. But, Kentucky is calling us, so we're headed.
Okay, that sounds awesome. Thanks, Adrienne. We'll be back to you shortly. Jim Dash.
Good afternoon. I'm Jim Dash. I'm with the law firm of Carlson Dash. We're a general business practice law firm with offices in Chicago, Milwaukee, and beautiful, well, not even quite downtown Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin. While we're a general practice business firm, we do have a concentration in the law of business and construction and design, which is my personal area of practice, and been doing that for, 30 some odd years. I lost count a little while ago. But we represent people and companies in the all up and down the contracting chain, owners, designers, contractors, lenders, basically anywhere in the area of construction and design, both in contracting and in dispute resolution. And probably the most important value added is in between, where you have a brewing dispute that hasn't yet ripened into a shooting war, so to speak. We've made it a kind of a life's work to go out there and meet the people who do this on a regular basis and have positive relationships with them, so that hopefully things can get resolved sooner rather than later.
Sure.
That's what I do.
So Jim, for people outside of those locations, can they use your counsel?
For some things, yes. I mean, there are some things that are, principles that are pretty universal, like human beings. On the other hand, if you've got a specific question about, let's just say, mechanics lien law or something like that, that I almost universally go to somebody who's local. And there are a lot of things, in between or mixed. So the answer is, I mean, yes, we've represented clients in other states than Illinois and Wisconsin. I also happen to be licensed in Texas. But we've had projects all over the country. It's just that, some of the things like general contracting, yes, we can do, but I always get local counsel involved for state-specific matters. And it's not much more expensive to do that. We're actually quite the bargain.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Jim. I appreciate that. So Angela, your name on your little tag under your video says Pure Granite and Stone, but after you're done talking, maybe change it to Angela at Pure Granite and Stone, so everyone knows how to reach out to you. And anybody here who wants to put something in the chat, feel free to do that. We'll make sure that they get it if they don't respond. Angela, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Angela Esposito. I am the owner CEO of Pure Granite and Stone, and we are a countertop fabricator, but we also do tile backsplash and cabinets. And we are now doing large format porcelain as well, so which is new to our market. But yeah, nice to meet everyone.
That's wonderful. So do you work outside of the Ohio area, Kentucky and all?
Yes, we cover Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana. So we cover all three of the states.
Okay, terrific. Great. That's wonderful. Thanks. And we look forward to seeing your beautiful work in our project tour. Thanks. Jason, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Jason Lenhart with Jason Lenhart Consulting. I'm a technology and home automation consultant. So I provide independent third-party advice and design services for anyone looking to do any sort of home automation, technology, audio, video, networking, et cetera, for their house. New construction, remodels, anything you need.
So Jason, give us an example of what you would be doing and how you might help one of the people on our call today.
So if you're involved in a new construction project and the client has expressed an interest, whether or not they know exactly what they need or don't, I would come in early on in the process, educate the client to what's available in the marketplace, help them come up with a solution that fits their needs, and then help them find a integrator vendor to install the product that matches the scope of the project, help manage that process all the way from start to finish.
Okay, terrific. And are you doing projects outside of the Midwest, or what is your scope?
So I don't have any currently outside of the Midwest, but it's just me and the laptop. So I'm available to go and to consult anywhere. So I can do a lot remote, or it's just a quick ride for me down to O'Hare and I'm playing out to wherever we need to go.
Okay. All right. Sounds great. Thanks. And thanks for all your help in running the luxury conference. I know that's not
my pleasure.
Your typical project, but I hired Jason to work with me and he did a great job. Okay, Sue, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Sue Wilson and I work for Custom Distributors. We're based out of Cincinnati. We have locations in Fairfield, Columbus, actually Dayton and Tampa. So my job is to pretty much take care of Frazier Homes as far as if they need anything outside. I can, like if there's something missing or if they're having a problem, or if they have great things to say, that's pretty much my job, just to make sure that they're taken care of. We have inside sales reps that actually take care of their customers. They come in and they make their selections. That's pretty basically what we do. We're a full service appliance company.
So when you said Tampa, is that Tampa, Florida?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. So
that's retirement.
okay, excellent, excellent. Absolutely. Everybody's kind of eye in other locations. That's great. Wonderful. I'm so glad you're with us. Thank you. Greg, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, thank you. I'm Greg Delmonico. I'm the Monogram Appliance Sales Manager for the Midwest. I work with Sue at Custom. GE Appliances is the parent of Monogram Appliances, and GE has been a long partner of Custom Distributors, longtime partner, and Sue and I work together, particularly as it relates to Monogram.
Wow, that's great. So Monogram was one of our headline sponsors for the luxury conference. You obviously know Alex.
I do, very well.
Yes, she's great. And Chef John and Courtney.
Yep.
Yep. So
All good people, great team to be a part of.
Yeah, and they've been our sponsor for the luxury conference since the onset, which was 5 years ago. So we love them and we do lots of events there. So that's fantastic. We're really excited to meet you too, Greg. And on the West Coast, we'll be doing some things also with the showrooms out here. Ooh, somebody is calling us, all right. Okay, I thought maybe it was somebody trying to get in, and I don't want to be rude and not give them the access, but it is not. So Mark, please introduce yourself.
Is it who? Which one? Who?
You.
Okay. Hi, I'm Mark. I thought I didn't hear. I'm Mark Tepe. We've been doing work for Andre Frazier and Frazier Homes since their beginning. We're a landscape contractor. We've been in business for about 40 years. I'm one of the founders that started it. We are primarily a landscape architecture and design group and construction. We do the hardscapes, we do the pool setting and everything. We have an irrigation division, a lighting division, and like I said, we've been doing a lot of work with Frazier Homes and like to continue doing it. So.
Fantastic. So as far as other projects that you're working on together, do you do both infill sites like you did for this project and larger estate properties?
Yes, we do. Yeah, whatever they have, we pretty much try to draw it up for them and make it work. So yes.
Great, great. And we totally believe in collaboration in that sense. Whatever we have, we talk about a lot in our education about when you have a builder, an architect, or an interior designer who get the client first, how important it is to bring in that team so that it's a whole property and not just a beautiful home.
Right. I like it.
Awesome. So you're speaking to the right audience here. Fabulous. Okay. So the rest of our Powerhouse SMART members and guests are going to have an opportunity to see this because it is now being recorded. So we're going to proceed because we want to be able to see and learn more from Adrienne. So the whole purpose of the hard hat tour, once again, is to really understand Adrienne's company, this particular project, maybe some lessons learned, and we can certainly ask questions, but I'm going to now spotlight Adrienne. She's in the center and I'll be talking with her and the rest of you will be the smaller of videos, and she's going to bring you on, or she'll mention your name and I'll pull up the collaborators when she's talking about you. If that makes sense. So please stand by. Here we go, Adrienne. I'm going to be turning the microphone over to you. There you go.
All right. Is it okay if I share my screen?
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. So I just want to jump into a little bit of a PowerPoint presentation, friends. And we are talking about the Walworth Junction project that was at 2897 Walworth. And you can look and see here that this is basically the plot plan. So if everybody remembers, and for those who are not in the Cincinnati area, this was a new and upcoming development in the Cincinnati, downtown Cincinnati area, and that was the plot plan. And I can't, really zone in, but you notice that some of the lots are a little bit bigger. Well, guess what? Frazier got the biggest one, lot number 36. Yes, indeed we did. So,
Adrienne, can I ask a question if you want to go back to the site plan?
Sure.
Who is the developer on this piece of property? Who decided that this was going to be a brand new community?
Yes, so TJ Ackerman, he and Ralph Mary John are the developers, and you know they work with the city. We got a huge tax abatement down there, and this was the first time, if individuals will remember, particularly my Cincinnati folks, remember that this was the first time ever that there had ever been a Homerama in the city of Cincinnati. So TJ and Ralph, they got this development up and going, and we did a Homerama showcase. Because of COVID, not everyone got to participate, including Frazier, but it is an amazing, amazing development.
So this is the first ever Homerama. Was that part of the Home Builders Association?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
The first
And so-
ever one in the city of Cincinnati.
Okay, and how many builders were participating?
There were 7 homes that were part of that event.
Wow, and this seems like a prime piece of property, and you got a tax abatement. Was there some remediation necessary in the soil, or?
Yeah, so the soil did have to be engineered because of where it is relative to the Ohio River. And then, you know, in that area, there has been landslide issues. So the development did have to be engineered. And then there are certain spots that we just, you know, it wasn't, we couldn't actually build. The developer, it wasn't, the city wouldn't allow it.
I see. And so does it have were you allowed to put it in a basement?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, I have questions, but I'm going to let you move along because I'm your stumbling block right now. I don't want to keep you behind. Go right ahead.
No, it's good. And if anybody else has any questions, please jump in. This is good discussion. I don't want it to just be a lecture series.
Okay, perfect. Excellent.
All right, so that was the original rendering. That was the inspiration. And so everybody knows, particularly all of our partners at Frazier, were super competitive and we wanted to win because this was going to be in the show. We didn't get to participate, but this was our inspiration. And so while that is the front view, what is even more important is the views of the skyline. So you are looking at, in the winter months, you're looking at the river and you're looking right over to Kentucky right now. And look at how beautiful that is. You're standing on your deck and you are just getting to see, we've got a B&B riverboat. You get to hear the music come past when the riverboat comes. It's just amazing.
Oh, that's so cool. So are there other homes that get this same type of view?
Well, yes, there are, but I would venture to say not exactly, because we got the prime real estate. The HBA, when the builders were picking where they wanted to build, we looked through all of the plots and Frazier said, we want this corner lot because the view is unobstructed. And you'll notice that this little patch of area, there's nothing that can be built there.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. But as far as up and down the river, I guess I would want to extend that question. Is there homes in other neighborhoods that could be infill situations like this that get this kind of an opportunity?
I don't think so.
Wow.
I just don't think it will. I mean, there are other neighborhoods in the area, but I just don't think that they will have that type of view and access.
Wow. So that made this very valuable. So how did you price this then?
It was priced to sell.
Okay. All right. We'll get to that later. I'll let you go on. We'll get to that later. Please continue.
All right, so that's the view during the non-winter months. This is when it is completely developed. There's going to be a bike trail and those kind of things. So you're looking at a little bit of the rendering from the developer and what the river looks like.
So there's a question, Adrienne, is that Newport or Covington across the river?
That is Covington.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And that was from Daryl, so he must know.
Just trying to get my geography down. Thank you.
Yes. Very nice.
Okay.
All right, so we're hopping straight away into what was going on in terms of our selection choices and what happened on the exterior. So we had our door was custom made. We had our light fixtures. So on the exterior decking in the back, you see this big ass fan. That's what it's called, a big ass fan.
I've seen that.
That's not me cussing. That's just what it's called.
Okay, perfect.
And then, of course, the garage. So we're looking for a very sleek, very modern. This is not your traditional Midwest type of home. We usually kind of like Tudors and, you know, we like brick and stuff like that. But in this space, it was very, very, very contemporary, modern.
So is this the first time you've done a modern home, Adrienne?
No, we have done other modern homes, but I will have to say that it takes us a little longer to sell them.
Okay, interesting. Wow.
So
Okay.
this neighborhood is really just drawing more of a modern person. Usually the demographics for the Walworth neighborhood are empty nesters because there's elevators. So they're thinking about their being able to age in place. And then there are reloads. So people who are from the West Coast, they like that style. So they want that type of home.
Yes, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, I'll let, that could be a great topic discussion if we have time afterwards, because I'm sure all of you would want to know what's popular in other places. So we could address that. Great.
Yeah. So then we went into the interior finishes. And so, by the way, at the end of this presentation, you all are going to get to see a video. So don't feel like you just have to look at boring stock pictures, but I just wanted to give you an idea. So these, again, you can see Angela, we've got our granite from her and the different, the shower head, you know, the stuff is very, very hard lines. It is very modern in nature. Again, same thing, the black tile is a tile. We did black tile in the entire Jack and Jill bathroom that you'll see, but you know, people are a little often afraid of those kind of selection choices, but with all of the windows, it doesn't make it too heavy, and the lighting in the area and the space is fantastic. So my personal pick is the chandelier that you're looking at there on the right-hand side. And
that's a chandelier.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a chandelier. And it goes basically from the top floor, you know, down to mid-level first floor. It's really long and meaty and hefty. It's fantastic.
So who's the manufacturer of the chandelier? Do you remember?
I'm not for sure who the manufacturer is. I know that our partner was Lighting FX.
Okay, yes, because Circa also participates in a lot of our events, and so so does sorry, just leaving my mind for a second, but yeah, so we often like to hear that. And whose cabinets did you use?
We used Stonegate.
Okay.
For cabinets. Yep. So again, that was all custom. Our cabinet guy came in and did drawings very specific to the home, and the homeowner now loves them.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful. And the fixtures, the faucetry.
That was from Ferguson.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Wonderful. So I was going to, Angela, anything in particular that really was compelling in the selection area of all the hard surfaces?
Well, what was fun about this one was that there was not a homeowner involved. So we had a little bit more liberty to put the things in here that would really set the home apart, which Adrienne and Kylie, another girl that works for Frazier, came in and did the selections, and they selected very bold contemporary countertops, which I loved, because like she said, a lot of people are scared of them. But in the kitchen, we did an alpine quartz, so it's a white and black quartz, and it's striking. You'll see some pictures of the kitchen, but then also in the other rooms, we went outside the box a little bit and did some darker finishes. So as Adrienne said, the bar is pretty dark, the black, and a lot of people tend to stay away from dark countertops. So we had a lot of fun with this one because we got to put some really fun modern countertops in this one.
Great, wonderful. And what about in picking the appliances, Sue or Mark, or no, Sue or Greg?
So I represent 60 different brands. In this particular project, we picked Thermador, as Greg represents GE. We brought him on board just because he's got a new item out on the market, and I wanted to share that with you. But as far as this particular project, we picked Thermador. It's a luxury item. We sell a ton of it, and it's just very popular with the customer. It's got that chunky feel. It's a good product.
So was this a Thermador suite? So you did everything in Thermador?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And the faucet looks very unusual. Do you know the brand? Anybody? That was
I don't know the brand off the top of my head, but I'll send it to you, Wendy.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And I love how you did the dark with the gold.
Yes. And, oftentimes, and I'm sure Sue and everyone will agree that people get spooked with mixing the metals.
Agree.
Yes.
So we just did whatever we wanted. You see, we've got the gold, and then we've got, the silver tones, because it's not competing. It is actually complementing.
Right. And Adrienne, you picked this out before gold was really back in yet, because I would, at least in my opinion, because, obviously you had to make your selections really early on, and now it's very, very very popular.
Yes. Well, Angela will tell you that I'm drawn to pretty. So when I come into her shop, like, I'm asking for sparkly tops and stuff with glitter and stuff, like anything pretty. That's what I care about.
Right. Right. And so do you hire an interior designer when you do your projects?
We do when we have a homeowner.
Okay. So in this particular project, you made more of the selections because there was no homeowner?
Yes.
That's always fun.
Yeah. That's right.
Okay.
That's right. So, so this here, what you all are looking at, that top, you can't see it in the picture, but Angela, if you can please explain that. That's one of the tops where it had this sparkle element that I was like, oh, I have to have this.
Yeah, so we did this is the powder room that she's showing you, but we did a marble in there. And so it's a white marble, and we did a fuller height backsplash on that. So the typical backsplash in a bathroom is about 4 inches, and I think we took that one up to maybe 8 inches. So it gave it some height in that room, and it turned out gorgeous. It's one of my favorite rooms.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yes. All right. So
I love the palette.
So we completely changed when we got to the master bath. This is the master bath, what you all are looking at. And the colors are, we abated the black and the darker colors. We went with a lot of cool tones and the silver and whites, etc. But we felt like we can do that. Once again, it's not like you know, a lot of times people say, well, we want to have some consistency throughout the home. And we felt like, at least I felt like, it still is remaining consistent, but it's something different and new to look at. You know, it can get a little mundane when you've got the same tile flooring in every single bathroom.
Right. And so in this particular case, you went with a pretty, would you call this a high level of finish in all your selections, or more of a moderate level?
I think that for me, this is probably a little bit more moderate level. I think I could have went a little higher, but in this instance, Andre was the one holding the purse strings. So he brought me back down and said, no, we're not going that high.
Okay. And so how much did this house and property sell for?
155.
And was that this original price, or did you have to come down or go up, or?
Nope, that was the original. Well, so our original price was 1.4, and then there were some good market analysis going on, and so I ticked it up a little bit. And then of course, again, it's my fault. I picked things that were outside of the original scope, and somebody had to pay for it, and it wasn't going to be us. So
Understood. Did you have to use a realtor to find your buyer, or did you find your buyer your
we are realtor friendly. We love realtors. So we did have a realtor, but I think just this home pretty much operated as a spec home. So for those reasons, I think it sold a little bit faster. And then of course the market. Mm-hmm.
Sure.
All right, so we are coming down to the end of the Frazier piece. I'm gonna let Sue jump in a little bit along with Greg, and then let Angela. But these paint colors, these were really the only paint colors that I selected for the entire house. And I'll say that was really more so Andre, because Andre, the only color that he believes is a color is gray. So I had to work with that palette and then make it work with the finishes. So those were our paint colors. We love Sherwin-Williams. They did a great job.
So before I let you pass the microphone, can you just tell me the history of Frazier Homes, please?
Okay, so the history of Frazier Homes is that it was really Andre's baby. So when Andre left the NFL, he was excited about building. He's always been, you know, from the time he was little. So Andre's my little brother, for anybody who doesn't know. He's always been into building and design and architecture. So once he retired from the NFL, he went to understudy a custom home builder, and he was with that builder for about 7 years. And then Andre would do one-off projects, et cetera, et cetera. And then really, so that was in 2011 that Frazier Homes began. But people didn't really start recognizing who we were until 2018 when we won Homerama. And then ever since then, we've been the undisputed, undefeated champions of all things custom home building.
Wow, that's fabulous. That is outstanding. So before we end today, we want to make sure we tell everybody that we're going to come to Ohio, and we want to see your projects and actually walk them. And so we'll have to be figuring out how that fits into the calendar in 2022.
Okay, absolutely. Absolutely. We can't wait to have you. Everybody wants you all to be here. It's going to be good fun. I will say just really quickly, because I didn't get it into the PowerPoint, Mark and his team worked really hard for us to get the landscaping out before. So the show was going to happen with or without Frazier. And we wanted to have at least the outside aesthetic looking pleasing for people who are walking the show. So the Tepe team, they nailed it for us. We would have won the landscaping if we would have participated in the show, and that would have been due to Mark and his team. So thank you so much.
Problem. Thank
So,
you. Appreciate it.
Are we going to be able to see in the tour the outside again? So Mark can maybe talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so in the video, you'll be able to see the you'll be able to see the outside. We don't have pictures of the side landscaping, which was really pretty for me. Mark, I don't know if you have any of those that you might be able to just pop up real fast.
I don't right now, but
Oh.
I was out there the other day. It does still look really sharp. It does look
Yeah.
great. And we did work pretty hard to get it ready for the show. I think we only had maybe 2 days
Yeah.
to get everything ready to open up for the show. And we did work really hard to get it in. So, but it did turn out great. And you would have won a first place. No question. So
That's
appreciate
right.
that.
So Mark, first I want to get to are you going to show why don't you go to the next screen, Adrienne, or the video? And okay, yeah. And then I want to definitely have Mark share with us any lessons learned.
Okay, so I will cut to the video really fast, guys, and then we'll let Custom Distributors and then Angela. So I'm sorry if it looks a little blurry here, folks.
No, not at all.
I hope you can hear the music.
That's okay. Sometimes we talk over the music, so that's okay too.
Okay.
So right now, all I'm seeing is the monogram logo. Is that correct?
Oh, okay. So I'm sorry. Let's see here. Maybe I have to stop sharing and then do it again.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't want to interrupt because I didn't know if monogram created the logo, created the video.
No, I'm sorry. Here, let's see here. Let's go back.
That's okay. That's okay.
Okay. Can everyone see that?
No, only you so far.
Oh, man. Okay, let's see. I'm going to try to share again, okay?
Okay.
Now. All right. Everybody
Let's
see
see.
that?
Okay, now we got it.
Okay, so now, Mark, talk about this just for a little bit before I press play on the video.
Well, Andre wanted something interesting. So what we tried to do is do some gravel lined travertine walkways and porch. We did use some interesting urns and some locations to try to bring some color out and bring a more of a modern look to it. We did use some real nice boxwoods across the front. You can't see it all, but there's other areas that we have highlighted some other colors to kind of give it a little more emphasis. The side of the building is really amazing because we used some skinny jean oak trees, which are really tight, really slender and beautiful. We put those on the side. We built some nice walls on the side as well out of limestone. It just turned out absolutely beautiful. So it was a really good looking project. So.
Yeah.
Did you do any of the other homes that were in the Homeorama, Mark?
We did one other home. We did the roofscape project on one of the other homes and a front planting design as well. Well, we did the whole home. That was for J&B. So we did do that one.
Okay, wonderful.
Mark, I'm going to have to get on you after this call.
There you go.
Yes. So Mark, did you have any issues with the grading or the drainage or anything given the soil conditions?
Not really. I mean, Andre always delivers us a great project. He gets us all set up and ready to go. We just coordinated. We did have to work in between the people with the scaffolding. When we showed up, there was scaffolding across the entire front of the home. So they had about 6 hours to take the scaffolding down so that we could get in there and start landscaping. So it was a little bit of a challenge, but it worked out well. So.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Let's see if I can make it go. And just so you all know, Andre's side job is a DJ. So this is Andre's music.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll remember that when we need to have a DJ for our next live event.
Yes.
Adrienne, have you been able to build any homes for any other NFL players?
No, not yet.
Okay, well, that will be your next marketing plan.
That's right.
So the homeowners are now in the property?
They are.
Great.
And
So
so
if
if
it
you
were-
all see those windows, like I said, there's so many windows in this, and so much natural lighting that it was okay for me to pick some of those dark features.
So what, first of all, what kind of windows did you use?
Pella,
Pella, so that's a complete, does that whole wall close in like Nana wall?
yes.
Okay, and then what kind of stone did you use on the fireplace?
That is, oh, Angela, that's got a little sparkle to it too. We used Stone Center, and I don't remember the actual name of the stone, but it's got some little iridescent thing going on.
So this kitchen is very unusual in the sense that you have
Yes.
the,
Do you want to
Yeah.
pause?
yeah, could you go back? I mean, I think
Yeah.
this kitchen is like a killer, like a beautiful, enormous kitchen. This must have been one of the huge selling points.
Yes. So that kitchen is massive. You'll see, and Angela, you can talk about it, and Sue, please jump in too. You see how we pulled the granite straight away up as a backsplash instead of having individual backsplash. And then Sue, can you tell us a little bit about the range? That thing is massive.
It's just, it's a range top. And so it just gives that chunky look without having that oven below. It's just a really nice gas range. And as far as like, if you move on over to the corner, we had single wall ovens, and you sort of put them in a corner, just something different. And it worked out really well.
Yeah.
And what kind of hood did you use, Sue?
We just used a insert, just a Thermador insert.
So what's the wood, what's the application on top of the hood?
That is a custom design that we had our Works from Wood trim carpenters create for us.
Okay, okay, wonderful. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fabulous.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Once again, people would get scared. Angela, you can back me on this, but you've got that granite on the island, and then all the way straight away on the back. Most people wouldn't do it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, especially with these big veins, because this is a veiny quartz, so it has some big dramatic veins. And I love that you guys did that, because the veins would just go up the wall right with the countertop, which gives it that wow factor when you walk into the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, absolutely stunning. So were there any lessons learned that you would do differently now that the project is finished and there's a very happy homeowner in there?
I think that we would have, so there needed to be internal alignment, really. So I was not aligned with Andre's budget, and that caused some problems. So
Okay.
we needed to get alignment. And then also, I feel like as builders and designers and stuff, sometimes we just need to go with our first inclination. And so I was always thinking, well, is this going to sell? Is this going to sell? Is this? And then I would lose so much time going over that, when I should have just did what I thought was right, because this project took a lot longer than it really needed to take.
So how long did it take to build?
We got started in June of 20, and didn't finish until June of 2021.
And so what would have been the normal timeline?
I want everyone, I want off the job, like no punch list, 9 months tops,
And how many square feet is this house?
6,000.
So you can do a 6,000 square foot house and it would be done in 9 months. Would that also be the same timeline if it were, say, a larger footprint house?
No, if it was a 12,000 square foot house or something like that, we would be doing we would be doing longer, but 6,000 and below for a Frazier operation needs to be, so that's where the operation piece of, for me, is coming in. I want you off the job in 9 months, and it's absolutely doable.
Wow, that's amazing. That's and so when I meant footprint, I meant if it was a 6,000 square foot house, but let's say the first floor had the master on the first floor and you had a larger parcel. How large was this lot? What were the dimensions?
This lot was 18 by, so it's really tiny.
It's like a city lot in Chicago.
Yes.
It's usually 20
Yes.
by 125.
Yes.
Okay. So that definitely presents, more of a vertical construction process. But if you had let's say a half-acre parcel, and is that, do you build on larger parcels typically?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, wow, that's really fast, Adrienne. Maybe we have another future session where you can share with us how you are speed to operation there, because that's really fabulous.
Well, we believe so. My background besides HR is in Lean Six Sigma. I've worked in doing a lot of manufacturing before and managing their processes. I'm a green belt in Six Sigma, and I'm working on my black belt right now. And it's always about continuous improvement in the Toyota model. And so we believe in the triple constraint, and that is time, budget, quality, and scope of work. And so those things have to align. My scope, my time, my budget has to align. If anything gets out of whack, it either negatively impacts my time or my quality. And so I'm always pushing for us to manage the triple constraint.
Understood. So was this project profitable in the end?
Yes, this project was profitable, but not to my expectation.
Okay. All right. I leave it if you want to continue the video, but I'm leaving it open for any questions from the audience before we depart here. Does anybody, I don't want to be the only one to occupy the entire floor here. So please go ahead and continue with the video.
Okay. Well, so while the video is going, Sue, can you jump in a little bit? I'm going to turn the music off if y'all don't care.
That's great.
So as far as the wall ovens, if you had noticed, it was on, is that what you're wanting?
Yeah.
So we just had them at an angle, and it was just sort of different. It worked out really well. And
so Sue, sometimes when you sell a very complicated, really they're not complicated, but when you sell appliances, the homeowner wants to have like a training session on the appliances. Do you do that in your studio?
So we do. We actually have a chef on hand, Chef Kathy, and she makes home visits. And so once people purchase appliances, as you guys know, it takes a long time to build a house. They really honestly forget what they have picked out. And so she actually goes on site and goes over use and care of the appliances.
Wow, that's really a nice gift. That's a wonderful thing. So,
Yes.
Yeah, so this rooftop, is this common for you in Cincinnati to have a rooftop like this, Adrienne?
No.
No. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna turn it over to anybody else who has questions. There was one person who joined us late, so I'm gonna let Susan Bertram introduce herself. Susan, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you. I'm Susan Bertram, and I'm from Materials Marketing in Chicago, close to the Merchandise Mart, and we are a purveyor and fabricator of architectural natural stone. And so my question for you is, I'm curious what the stone is on the outside of the house, and just curious where you get your stone from down there in Cincinnati.
That stone was a ledgewood stone, and we got it from Stone Center here in Cincinnati.
Okay, great. It's a beautiful home. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Great.
So you'll notice that I paused on this closet because this closet is tiny.
Really?
Yes.
It looks huge.
No.
Wow, but you've got a lot of hanging space. So who did the closet design?
This closet was, Angela, do you know, or Sue, do you know? It's Keith. It's not Closets by Design. It is. I think it's Closets by Design that did it. So we work with a number of different closet folks.
Gotcha. Well, it looks awful big here. Awful, but it looks big, which is awesome. That's great. And so I didn't have a question from Jason, but I'll ask it for him. And that is, what about, AV, smart home technology?
Yep. We used Phantom Sound.
Okay.
And so they did all of our stuff. We've used Hanson also. And that garage is a 3-car garage with beautiful epoxy flooring.
Wow, the ceilings look very tall.
Yes, yes.
Is that due to some kind of requirement?
No, that was just the design that Andre, he envisioned. And so when you say basement, this is the basement area. What you just saw was the basement area. So it's really a finished basement.
I see. Okay, Jim Dash has a question. Jim, go ahead.
Yeah, obviously you were sensitive to the time it took to build this project. Why did it take so long, and would there be any way to speed it up? Because without an owner carrying the costs, that can get pretty expensive.
Yeah. Well, so one of the reasons why we lost time is because we couldn't work during the show. So there was about a 3-week period in October where we couldn't work. So we missed time there. And then with my own issues with selection choices and stuff like that. So for example, it took me forever. I wanted floating stairs, if you noticed in the video. So I wanted floating, and I just was trying to wait to get them. And we couldn't get them fabricated and all this kind of stuff. And I should have pulled the trigger faster and just said, I'm leaving my original design and I'm moving to these other stairs, which were just as pretty as what I originally wanted. So, even when there's a homeowner, so our process is all of the exterior selections need to be chosen before we start digging. And then at the time of digging, all of the interior selections need to be done. And so in this instance, being slow was because I was taking a long time on selections.
Understood. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, given that it's not your house,
yes.
I've seen plenty of owners not just take their time. I mean, they're conflicted. I get that. And some are just indecisive, but yeah, that's obviously a key thing in getting to the cost or keeping the cost down.
Well, I'm glad you made money. It's a beautiful project. I thank all of you and all of your collaborators. I invite all of you to come to our coffee meet and greet and dip your toe in the water to maybe become a Powerhouse SMART member, or maybe even open a chapter. But in the meantime, all of our members get to come to all of our events throughout the year, and there's lots of opportunity for growth. I know there's people that are on this call that want to connect with you. So if you're a member, you're going to get a list of everyone who was here, and you can reach out to them one-to-one. Please don't just use it as a spam mail, but really build those relationships, because that's what it's all about. Adrienne, with that said, it's 5 o'clock. I thank you, and I'm so happy that we did this, and I'm so happy that it's going to be recorded for many more people, and I can't wait to be there face to face and give you a big hug and more of your work. So thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate
job.
it.
Okay, thank you. Good night,
Bye.
everyone. Have a
Nice
great
work.
Thank
night.
you.
All right.
Okay, thank
Spectacular.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.